You of you who donated monetary offerings toward the Queen competition. I am proud to represent the 2017 Queen of Ellen Grove District.
That's our queen.
Let's stand, those of us that can, and congratulate our queen. But Kamora, as Minister Ross has said on behalf of the Stranger Dress Baptist Church, we thank you and your family for the effort. This family supported this queen process as well as the church. And that's what it takes, all of us working together. And again, we congratulate you, but as always, you always will be our queen. Now give them the queen wave, amen? And at this time, would you go to Walter, escort her back to her seat, amen? And again, we congratulate you and we thank God for the spirit. We thank God for each and every one of you for your sacrifice and giving. Amen.
Jordan is the daughter of Reverend and Sister Newman. She graduated from Eunice Trinity High School. She will be attending the University of Nebraska on scholarship. Western Hills Primary School, Western Hills Elementary, Stripling Middle School. Quinn graduated from Colleton High School. His school activity, ROTC. His interest, spending time with family, playing video games, spending time on the computer. Most of all, he loves spending time with his nephew, who he loves dearly. Future plans, attending Tarrant County Community College, majoring in geology. Mark, Anthony Eugene. Mark is the son of Mr. Business Eugene. Mark will be continuing his academic and football career at Navarro College. He will be studying journalism for a year and a half. Then will continue at the university to get his major in journalism and hopefully make it on to the NFL.
Let There was so much on my mind. I searched for peace, but I could not find it. So I knelt down on my knees to pray. Praying, help me, please. As soon as I soon as I stop worrying. You know, worrying doesn't change anything. But as soon as I stop worrying and let God have His way, have you ever had things going on that you figured, why me? But you have to let it go. When we learn how to let it go and let God do what He does, but there's nothing too small or too big for God. But as soon as I learn how to leave it in His hands, sometimes we leave it and we go back and pick it up. It's prayer time. It's prayer time. God said, bring it to the altar. When you bring it here, leave it here. And you have to believe that whenever you bring it, that He has it and can take care of it. People let go. And let go. Let go. As soon as we stop worrying. On this Father's Day, whatever you got going on, let God handle it. You've handled it too long and haven't made any changes, so let Him handle it. Let Him do what He do best. We ask that Pastor West will come and lead us in our altar prayer.
Dear Heavenly Father, we come humbly, Lord, before you. Knowing, Lord, that you have all power in heaven and earth in your hands. And the song is so right if we just let it go. Lord, we know you're able. But Lord, you can do anything but fail this morning. And Master, we ask that you would touch everyone under the sound of my voice. You know the needs in this house. You know the burdens, Lord, that we'll carry. And Lord, as we place them on the altar right now, Lord, Lord, we ask that you would take our problems. And Lord, we know you can fix it. We know you can solve it. And Lord, we just place them in your hands right now. And Lord, help us
want to give honor again to our pastors and First Lady in their absence. And also to recognize Pastor West Sr. Always good to see him. And sit alongside one of his sons, Pastor West. Thank you, sir. Reverend Hobbs. Reverend Hudson. We're in for a treat this morning. We're in for a treat. You know, when they call Pastor Pickney to be a pastor, I said, well, there goes that leg jumping, foot jumping, and then here we get another one coming in. When he gets to jumping, boy, it gets all good. If you would, raise your right hand for our own Reverend Darnell Newman.
Praise God this morning. I'm sitting there listening to that song, Let Go, Let God. That's a part of that song that I really like. It's as soon as things start happening, I stop worrying about. But as soon as I let go, and I let God have his way. How many of you today have just kind of sat back and looked over where God has brought you from? You see the wretch that you used to be, and the things that you used to do that you thought was hidden from man. But God, who is rich in grace and his mercy, saw fit to just smile upon you one more time and say, I'm going to give him one more chance. Give him one more opportunity. I'm glad that we serve a God of another chance. See, he just gave me a second chance. I don't even know a long time ago. But thank God right now for his grace, for his presence, for his love, for his kindness. Man, how he just brought me out. How he saw about me when I couldn't see about myself. So when I start thinking about me and how the story goes, I'm gonna let go and I'm gonna let God. I'm gonna let him have his way. Hey. It's just something about the name of Jesus that just should do something to you. At the very mention of his name, when you say Jesus, my pastor back home used to say that when you love somebody and when you're in love with somebody, the very mention of their name should just do something to you. It should just make you feel a certain way. So when I say the name Jesus, and how good he's been to me, and how he brought me out, how he you know, I'm going to attempt to sing a little bit of this song. Y'all pray for me. But it just goes in line with thinking about Jesus. And it's a simple song, and y'all can join in with me. And it just says, I love you. I love you. I love you, Lord, today. Because you care for me in such a special way. That's why I praise you. I lift you up. I magnify your name. That's why my heart is filled with praise. It says, my heart, my mind, my soul belongs many of you on the day God has filled your heart with some praise? If he hasn't, then there's something wrong with you. Because as I was saying a minute ago, God has done so much for us all. You know, we heard this all my life where it says, if I had 10,000 tongues, I still couldn't praise him enough, or I couldn't tell it enough. So not to prolong our time, let me first give praises to God, honor to our pastor who is absent on today, and honor to my wife who's in attendance today, and thankful for all the fathers that are here. And I'd like to thank a friend of mine who decided to come out and join us on this morning, Sister Leslie. We've known each other since we were many years ago. I won't tell on her age. She's younger though, put it that way. But just thankful that she thought enough to come by and visit with us today. So let me pray. Most gracious Heavenly Father, Lord, I come before you right now, just first giving you the glory, honor, and praise. Lord, just thanking you for being God and God alone. Thanking you for being I am. Thanking you for sitting high and looking low. Lord, right now I ask that you let me decrease as you increase. Lord, let a word come forth that is life-changing, life-altering, changes hearts, changes minds. Lord, let your word do exactly what you needed to do. Lord, because if you don't do it, it can't be done. So Lord, I thank you right now. In your Son, Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. If you have your Bibles, you turn with me today to the book of, it's a familiar book, Jonah. Book of Jonah. First chapter of Jonah. And I'm going to read quite a few verses. But when you get time, you have to go read the book of Jonah for yourself. It's a short book. It's only 4 chapters. But it reads, well, I'll wait. I'll stick it a few pages. Jonah, first chapter. We'll begin reading at the first verse. When you have it, say amen. It says, now the word of the Lord came unto Jonah, the son of Amittai, saying, arise, go to Nineveh, that great city, and cry against it, for the wickedness has come up before me. But Jonah rose up to flee unto Tarshish from the presence of the Lord, and went down to Joppa, and he found a ship going to Tarshish. So he paid the fare thereof, and went down into it, to go with them unto Tarshish from the presence of the Lord. But the Lord sent out a great wind into the sea, and there was a mighty tempest in the sea, so that the ship was like to be broken. Then the mariners were afraid and cried every man unto his God, and cast forth the wares that were in the ship into the sea to lighten it up. But Jonah was gone down into the sides of the ship, and he lay and was fast asleep. So the shipmaster came to him and said unto him, what meanest thou? O sleeper, arise, call upon thy God, if so be that God will think upon us that we perish not. And they said every one to his fellow, come and let us cast lots, that we may know for whose cause this evil is upon us. So they cast lots, and the lot fell upon Jonah. Then said they unto him, tell us, we pray thee, for whose cause this evil is upon us? What is thine occupation, and whence comest thou? What is thy country of, and what people art thou? And he said unto them, I am a Hebrew. I fear the Lord, the God of heaven, which hath made the sea and the dry land. Then were the men exceedingly afraid, and said unto him, why hast thou done this? For the men knew that he fled from the presence of the Lord, because he had told them. Then said they unto him, what shall we do unto thee, that the sea may be calm unto us? For the sea wrought and was tempest. And he said unto them, take me up, and cast me forth into the sea, so shall the sea be calm unto you. For I know that for my sake this great tempest is upon you. May God add a blessing to the readers, hearers, and doers of his word. You may be seated. Amen. Now, I'm one that like to ask questions sometimes when I get opportunity to deliver the word. So, first question I ask you, and I'm going to tell you my answer to this question is yes. But how many of you can admit that you've been disobedient? Amen. So I think all of us in here can attest to that. How many of you would say that sometimes you allow people to be attached to you that shouldn't have? I think all of us can attest to that too. Now, as this chapter begins to open up, we find that it quickly introduces us to a man named Jonah. Jonah's name means dove. Jonah, who is this Jonah? And what's so significant about this name? Jonah is referred to as a minor prophet. Not that he was not significant in the eyes of God, but just because the book of Jonah is only 4 chapters.
All right.
You know, Jonah, you can read back in the book of 2 Kings where he prophesied to Jeroboam and helped him out. Jonah is also the only prophet that Jesus refers to by name in the book of Matthew, chapter 12, verses 39 through 41. So, who is this Jonah? And why is he important to us today? So after the questions that I asked you, how many of you can say you've been disobedient? Everyone agreed. And everyone agreed that we've allowed people to be attached to us that we shouldn't. Now, oftentimes when this story of Jonah is told, we always, well, the way I heard it, I can't speak for everyone, but we always told about the disobedience of Jonah and how God gave him a command, but he didn't want to do it. But I'd like to approach it from a little different aspect this morning, if I can. And so the way I want to present it to you, so my topic this morning, if you bear with me, will be careful who you let on your ship. Be careful who you let on your ship. Now, as I was saying earlier, the passage opens up immediately with God giving Jonah a word. He told him to arise and go to Nineveh, that great city. But Jonah decided, I'm going to take matters into my own hands. I don't want to do what it is that you have commanded me to do. How many Christians can attest to God giving you something? Well, we'll come back to that. But the Bible goes on to tell us that he fled to Tarshish. He fled from the presence of the Lord. Now, we can see just from the first few verses his disobedience. And how he blatantly disobeyed the Lord. Now, Jonah began to set a chain of events into motion that would not have happened if he would have just been obedient. So to start things off, let's look at what Jonah began to do first. He got a command. He rose up. He went and bought a ticket. He got up. He disobeyed. He went and bought a ticket. So now this lets me know that after he bought his ticket, he bought a ticket to board a ship. This ship was heading to Tarshish. So what this began to let me know is, when I say be careful who you let on board your ship, because see now, because Jonah had a little money, because he was able to buy the ticket, he was able to get on board. So what am I trying to say right here is sometimes we allow people to become attached to us based off their monetary status. Sometimes we allow people to be attached to us because of what we feel they can do for us. Sometimes we get involved with people because they got a certain name for themselves. Sometimes we get attached to people because we feel that they're prominent in the community. Sometimes we allow people to attach themselves to us that we have no business letting them on board our ship. But see, sometimes we allow people to come in our lives that God is trying to... Sometimes we allow get on board. Now, when I say be careful who you let on board your ship, what I'm saying is be careful who you let in your life. Be careful with people that you entertain. Be careful with the people that you associate with. Be careful with the people that you keep company with. See, in this case now, Jonah has some money, so now he's boarded the ship. So how many people, like I asked, have allowed people to board their lives based on what they can do? See, some of us have entered into some relationships because of what he can do or what we feel she can do. Some of us think they got money, so they buying our affection, they buying our attention, they buying our wedding. But see, sometimes you need to start doing a background check on folks to realize what it is that they bring on board your ship. See, sometimes people board your ship with some baggage that you can't equip to handle. It's a little bit too heavy. It's a little bit too heavy for you. God didn't equip you to take on their problems and their mess because you got your own to worry about. But sometimes we get attached to people because we feel like they don't help us up and help us out and bring us through, but they put more on us than what we had in the beginning. But see, I'm reminded in the Word of God that He said, I won't put no more on you than you can bear. See, for my yoke is easy and my burdens are light. So you need to start checking the luggage at the door. If they bring in more than what's necessary, you need to throw it overboard. See, be careful. Be careful. Be careful who you allow to get on board your ship. Be careful. So now, because he had a little money, he got on board. Because he paid the fare, he got on board. But now, Jonah has boarded the ship. And this upset the Lord. Because in the verse, let me find it. It says, but the Lord in verse 4 sent out a great wind into the sea. So I got to look at this and I was like, okay, well, Lord, what do you mean? Okay, Jonah arose. He was disobedient. He bought the ticket. He boarded the ship. But as soon as he boarded the ship, it says God sent out a great wind. Now, see, what this let me know right here is sometimes your disobedience causes God to send some wind or some storms into your life. See, everything that you come up against, you might need to check and see what it is that you're doing. You might need to look at it and see, am I in accordance with God's word? Am I following His instructions? Am I following His command? But it says God sent out a great wind upon that ship because of his disobedience. So sometimes those people that you will let be attached to you, they bring some storms into your life that God didn't want you to deal with. But because you allowed them to board your ship, they have brought havoc in your life. Okay. So Jonah has boarded the ship. It says a great wind went and but the Lord sent out a great wind into the sea, and there was a mighty tempest in the sea, so that the ship was like to be broken. So I got to thinking about this for a minute. So he arose up, he bought the ticket, he boarded the ship. God sent a storm, but when the storm came, it didn't cause him to be broken, it caused the ship to be broken. So see, when you let folks be attached to you, that God telling you not to, they bring some brokenness into your life sometimes. They come in and cause all kind of havoc and reap all kind of destruction because you have allowed them aboard your ship without checking the bags at the door. It's okay to tell people, no, I don't want to have nothing to do with you. No, I don't want to fool with you. See, the problem that people we get trapped into sometimes is people say, well, you're a Christian. You're supposed to be able to help me. You're a Christian. You're supposed to be there for me. But see, God gave us common sense. He didn't make us stupid. He told us we got to love everybody, but he didn't say I got to fool with everybody. So sometimes the people that's trying to attach themselves to nobody, you need to check them at the door and say, hold on, my brother. Hold on, my sister. What's your intentions in my life? What are you trying to do for me? If you're not uplifting me and taking me higher in the Lord, then I don't need to wants to destroy you by all means necessary. By any way possible. He wants to make sure that you're going to make it to your destination. So now watch this. Watch how letting people be attached to you hurts you even more. So when you read down a little bit more, it says when the ship start being tossed, when it start being thrown to the side. Any of you ever been out to sea? Any of you ever been on a ship? And you know when them seas get a little bit turbulent, and them swells get to coming in, and they get to knocking that boat around, and you can't even walk straight. You got to try to go with the flow of the ship, because it's just a little bit too hard for you to stay in line with the course of that ship, because you're being broken on, you're being moved all around from side to side. Sometimes it makes you a little sick to get to move too much. Sometimes you have to go lay down because you can't stand the storm that you're going through. Sometimes you got to take a pill or put a patch behind your ear so that you can balance your equilibrium. God is trying to bring balance in your life by telling you, don't let everybody board your ship. Because see, the problem when he boarded the ship, now see, these men, yes sir, they made a living by trading. They were mariners. See, they made their living by what they had on their boat. Because they allowed Jonah to be attached to their ship, it says they begin to throw the wares overboard. What are wares? They're valuable. They're expensive things. There's pottery. It's things that they use to trade and make a living. But see, sometimes you bring folks into your life that God don't want attached to you. And you start throwing some things out that God wanted you to keep out. You start letting go of some things that God needed you to hold on to. So now, everything that they was going to use to make some money, they didn't threw it overboard. They got to throw away what it is to make their living. All because they didn't check the bags at the gangway. They didn't check it before they got on board. They just let it get on because they didn't know. But see, sometimes, now, I want to say this. Jonah was a man of God. He was a man of God. I told you in 2 Kings how he prophesied. Told you that Jesus mentioned him in the book of Matthew. No, the prophet. He was a child of God. So what am I trying to say? Everybody that say they're a child, everybody that's confessing and professing, some of us is walking in disobedience. Some of us ain't living the life that we confess to be living. Some of us have a form of godliness, but a form of godliness ain't godliness at all. It's just what you trying to appear before men to be. But God knows the heart. He knows the true intentions. He knows your mind. He knows how you live when can't nobody else see. He knows when you close that door and you turn that key. He knows what you're doing when can't nobody else see. He knows and says everything that's done in the dark, it shall be brought to the light. So what you're doing behind your closed door is between you and God. But be careful who you let on your ship, because some of them folks is doing some things that they ain't got no business doing. So now, but he's a man of God. But he's being disobedient. Everybody in here admitted at first that we've all been disobedient in our life. But see, sometimes our disobedience will bring heartache and pain to others in our life. If you don't believe me, let me take your attention to Achan and AI. How God had told him to leave all the spoils, take nothing. He told him don't take anything. But he decided he saw a little gold and a little silver that attracted him and that he wanted for himself. So he then took it with him and buried it in his tent. But now that he didn't bury it, thinking can't nobody see, there's some things behind closed doors, or as we refer to it, them skeletons in the closet. But see, sometimes them skeletons begin to fall out because when they went into battle the next time, God wasn't with them. God wasn't on their side. See, God, because of the disobedience, he told the prophet that I'm not going to be with you because you have sinned against me. But see, now, because of his disobedience, because he was attached to that ship, God told him to find him and he perished and his family. See, so you living in disobedience sometimes just don't affect you. It affects all those that are connected to you. So you need to be mindful and aware and cautious of what you do, because you may be bringing damnation on your whole family. on board your ship. So now again, I said they had to throw overboard all the things that they were using to make a living, or how they was going to earn their keep, so to speak. But the shipmaster says he went to Jonah and basically said, what you doing? Why you sleep? Don't you see what's happening? How are you able to sleep in the midst of this storm that is taking place around us? Because see, a lot of times, you ever deal with the people that throw rocks, but then they hide their hand? See, that was Jonah. See, he didn't throw the rock, but he didn't hit his hand. So now he's asking him, what are you doing? Why do you sleep? And so what this said to me is, we need to be like that shipmaster and start asking people, what are you doing in my life? What purpose do you serve? How can I help you? What are you going to do to benefit us? How are we going to improve the kingdom? How are we going to get closer to God? What are we going to learn? What are we going to do that makes God smile? We got to question people that come to try to board our ship. But see, now they didn't woke Jonah up. And Jonah knew what was wrong. But see, at first, but he didn't say nothing. He just got up like, I'm sure he just woke up and was like, what you talking about? I ain't doing nothing. I just bought me a ticket. I'm trying to go to Tarshish. I just want to take my ride. Why you bother me to disturb in my sleep? See, it couldn't have been me. I think I'd have slapped him and woke him up and told him, listen, you need to get up. And they said, pray to the God that you serve to see what is this that has been brought upon us. But see now, what I found interesting about this chapter is as you read down a little bit more, it says, but even after throwing things overboard, even after Jonah telling them what he has done, it says they were still rowing hard trying to get to the shore. So what that tells me is, even sometimes when people let you know their true intentions, when people tell you the reason why they came into your life, you still trying to hold on to them. You still trying to keep them on board your ship. No matter the damage that you suffer, no matter the heartache and pain you go through, no matter how hard it gets for you, but you still trying to deal with these type of people. Have you ever dealt with people that when they walk into the room, the atmosphere just changed? They just seem like they suck the life out of the room. And everybody has done this. Oh Lord, here goes sister so-and-so. Here goes brother, whoever his name may be. You don't want to deal with them because you already know the mess that they're about to bring. Have you ever dealt with that person that every chance they see you, they want to gossip and whisper in your ear? They want to tell you about who said, who shot John, who killed Sally, who did this. But what amazes me is you can sit and talk to me about everybody, and you'll talk about me too. So the thing that I realize is that you got to be careful who's on board your ship. Because everybody that's in your ear, sometimes you need to just block them out. I don't want to hear that. But see what I've learned in life, if we learn to do this, if we start telling people when they bring that mess to us, grab their hand and say, let's pray for them. Let's lift them up. Let's go to God on their behalf. Let's see what God says. Let's see what God can do. See, that'll keep people from being in your ear. Because they'll realize and they'll know that you're not that person. Be careful who you let on your ship. Everybody that's riding don't mean you well. You know, me and my wife took our first cruise a few months back. And some of y'all take cruises all the time. But you realize how many people board that ship? It's people from everywhere. People from all over the world. I mean, we met people from Russia, from England, from just all walks of life. Not just from the passengers, but even the crew that works there. But the thing about it is, we don't know their story when they board their ship. We don't know their intentions on board their ship. Now, we hope and pray that their intentions are good. But see, we have to be mindful. The Bible says, let this mind be in you, which is also in Christ Jesus. See, God gives us discernment when we walk in His will and in His grace. See, God gives you a discernment on some people that you just need not fool with. Because see, here's the problem. Sometimes we attach ourselves to people. And now watch this. Come here right quick. Now, watch this. Stand up here. Now, sometimes we get attached to people. Now, try to pull me up. You can't. But I can pull you down. See, sometimes we attach ourselves to folks that it's easier for me to pull you down than it is for you to pull me up. So that's why you got to watch some of the company that you keep. Because everybody, like I said, don't mean you well. And some of the people let you off? Why was it easy for me to pull you down? See, our life should be such a witness that the anointing that flows on you should begin to overflow to everybody that comes in your presence. The Bible says that you will know the tree by the fruit that it bears. You will know the life by the way that they live. I ain't got to tell you who I am in God. My life will speak for me. I ain't got to boast and brag what he done for me. The favor of God is not there, but it's right. The favor of God will let you know. You should be contagious in your walk. You should be infectious in your walk. Everybody that comes around you should catch Jesus. They should hold on. They should catch him and not want to let go. Be careful who you let on board your ship. Because people are trying to pull you down. They are trying to drag your name through the mud. They are trying to hinder you and block your blessings. You know, me and my wife talk about this all the time. How you ever just had moments where you pray and you ask God to bless you, and the blessings begin to fall, but then you become disobedient and step out of his will. But now watch this. It didn't stop the floodgates that open. They still falling. But you just not in line to receive it. God heard your request, but you stepped out of the line with him. So everything you were supposed to get, everything you were supposed to hold on to, everything that was supposed to propel you into your future and into your destiny, you let fall by the wayside. But now watch this. But then when you get back right, and you get rid of that form of godliness, and you get godly, and you step back into his grace and into his mercy, now you get what's left over. You hear what I said? You get what's left over. But you didn't receive everything that you should have. But see, because God, who is rich in mercy, because God, who is rich in his love and kindness, he says, I will restore unto you the years that the cankerworm and the palmerworm has eaten away. Even in spite of you falling out of line with him, he says, I'm faithful and just to forgive you of your sins and cleanse you of all unrighteousness. He said, if you acknowledge me, I will direct your path. He says that you can do all things through him that strengthen you. He says, for I so love the world that I gave my only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Because God saw who was boarding your ship. I can see Jesus sitting at the right hand of his Father and says they're taking on too much. They're taking on too much heaviness. The baggage is getting too hard for them to hold on to. And I can just imagine him saying, Lord, prepare me a way. Prepare me a body so that I can go down and take this capsizing ship and bring it back afloat. So that I can remove everything that I need to be in their life. So the Bible tells me that Jesus, he came down through 42 generations because he saw who you was letting on board your ship. And he came down and he knew I couldn't do it by myself. Because he knew. Because he said, while I was yet sinning, I'm going to die for him. In spite of it. And because he thought enough of you to help you keep certain individuals, certain people off your ship. But I'm going to say this to you. It's not always people that we take on board our ship. Some of us got some addictions that we're holding on to. Some of us got some entertainment that we watch that's not pleasing to God. Some of us got a bottle that we hold on to. Some of us got some things we smoke on. And I ain't talking about cigarettes. Some of us got a pipe that is our best friend. Some of us got some addictions that God is trying to get up off your ship because it's heavy on you. It's heavy on you. Some of us are... The Bible says that God, he loves us unconditionally. He loves us even when we don't love ourselves. And to prove it, like I said, he went to the cross because he loves you unconditionally. So if he was willing to die for you, the least you can do is live for him. The last time I checked, I'm about to take my seat. Everybody in here likes gifts. Who doesn't get excited about gifts? Well, Jesus gave you the gift of life. What Adam destroyed, Jesus renewed. What Adam separated, Jesus reconciled. What Adam couldn't do, Jesus did it all. And the good thing about it is, salvation is free. Because he paid the price. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm pretty cheap, so I like free stuff. I like free. But especially, but watch this. But the gift that he's giving you that's free is going to benefit you for eternity. You know, there used to be this saying that you only live once. But that's so far from the truth. You only die once. But you live on in eternity. You live on. This house of clay, this is temporary. Because one day, the Bible says every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess. And I'm going to leave you with this. And when you stand before him in judgment, what if he asks you, why did you let that on your ship? Amen. Today, that you are tired of taking on baggage, if you are tired of living the way that you've been living, if the load has gotten too heavy for you, let Jesus lighten the load. Let him take it on. So if there's one today, and you have some things on your ship that you need God to remove, he says, come boldly before the throne of grace. There's nothing too hard for God, but he can't do it if you don't give it to him. Lighten your load on today. Let Jesus bear your burdens.
Great is thy faithfulness, oh God, my Father.
Thou changest not.
Be careful who you let on your shit. All company ain't good company. I like that. You can't pull me up. You can't help me out, but you can pull me down. Thank you, brother. Sometimes the hardest thing around is to cut loose some bad company. That's why we must stay prayerful at all times. To make changes is hard. We get comfortable. We get comfortable. We get complacent. And it's just hard to make that move and to cut loose some of those ties. Did you enjoy the message? God is good. So while you were texting, I hope we were texting the pastor, let him know what was going on. We have a great pastor, but don't mind leaving it in the hands of those that he works with. We thank God for the message today, and certainly the messenger. God continue to bless him in his ministry and continue using him in such a mighty way. Well, it's time to go home. Text the pastor that too. Tell him it's time. We out of here. We out of here. If we could get a couple of deacons to escort our graduates to the front door, if you would, please. And also, all those that can, if you would please sow a seed into the young people's lives. It pays off. You know, when I first got here, I remember Sister Paige, and this is one of her many grandkids. It's on that horn. And to see him coming back home to work, so often our children go elsewhere. So we have to maintain and we must do some things. I know there's a lot of time Brother Hudson and the crew that works with him probably could be at home doing something else. But it's important that we continue to work with our young people. If nothing else, charity. We're all standing and prepared to go home. Reverend Newman, thank you again. Thank you again. With that mighty word, we ask that you dismiss us.
Amen. I heard something was said today that was a blessing. You know, God's word, if it don't hit you first, you need to check the message. But most gracious Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you today for the visitation of your spirit. We thank you for the word that has come through. Lord, you know in your word that you said your word will not return unto you void. So Lord, we thank you right now. And Lord, we ask that as we leave this place, whenever your presence, that you will continue to lead and guide us. Keep us safe from all hurt, harm, and danger. Lord, bless these graduates that are about to go into the next phase of their life, Lord. Go before them now, prepare the way, Lord. You said you can protect us from danger seen and unseen. So Lord, we ask that you would just move on their behalf and continue to let your favor shower down upon them. And not only them, but all that is assembled and attached to this church, Lord. Bless our pastor and his wife in their absence, Lord. Continue to strengthen, continue to let him be the great under shepherd that you have placed before us, Lord. Thank you for the teachings that he has given us, Lord. We thank you right now, and we'll be mindful to always give you the glory, honor, and praise. In the Son, Jesus' name we pray. Amen. praise God this morning. I'm sitting there listening to that song, Let Go, Let God. That's part of that song that I really like. It says, as soon as things start happening, I stop worrying about. But as soon as I let go, and I let God have his way. How many of you today have just kind of sat back and looked over where God has brought you from? You see the wretch that you used to be, and the things that you used to do that you thought was hidden from man. But God, who is rich in grace and his mercy, saw fit to just smile upon you one more time and say, I'm going to give him one more chance. Give him one more opportunity. I'm glad that we serve a God of another chance. See, he just gave me a second chance. I done been gone a long time ago. But thank God right now for his grace, for his presence, for his love, for his mercy. Hey, how he just brought me out. How he saw about me when I couldn't see about myself. So when I start thinking about me and how the story goes, I'm gonna let go and I'm gonna let God. I'm gonna let him have his way. Hey. Y'all don't mind. There's just something about the name of Jesus that just should do something to you. At the very mention of his name, when you say Jesus, my pastor back home used to say that when you love somebody and when you're in love with somebody, the very mention of their name should just do something to you. It should just make you feel a certain way. So when I say the name Jesus, and how good he's been to me, and how he brought me out, how he you know, I'm going to attempt to sing a little bit of this song. Y'all pray for me. But it just goes in line with thinking about Jesus. And it's a simple song, and y'all can join in with me. And it just says, I love you. I love you. I love you, Lord, today. Because you care for me. In such a special way. That's why I praise you. I lift you up. I magnify your name. That's why my heart is filled with praise. It says, my heart, my mind, my soul belongs to you. You paid the price for me, way back on Calvary. That's why I praise you. I lift you up. I magnify your name. That's why my heart is filled with praise. How many know today God has filled your heart with some praise? If he hasn't, then there's something wrong with you. Because as I was saying a minute ago, God has done so much for us all. You know, we heard this all my life where it says, if I had 10,000 tongues, I still couldn't praise him enough, or I couldn't tell it enough. So not to prolong our time, let me first give praises to God, honor to our pastor who is absent on today, and honor to my wife who's in attendance today, and thankful for all the fathers that are here. And I'd like to thank a friend of mine who decided to come out and join us on this morning, Sister Leslie. We've known each other since we were many years ago. I won't tell on her age. She's younger though, put it that way. But just thankful that she thought enough to come by and visit with us today. So let me pray. Most gracious Heavenly Father, Lord, I come before you right now, just first giving you the glory and honor and praise. Lord, just thanking you for being God and God alone. Thanking you for being I am. Thanking you for sitting high and looking low. Lord, right now I ask that you let me decrease as you increase. Lord, let a word come forth that is life-changing, life-altering, changes hearts, changes mind. Lord, let your word do exactly what you needed to do. Lord, because if you don't do it, it can't be done. So Lord, I thank you right now. In your son Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. If you have your Bibles, you turn with me today to the book of, it's a familiar book, Jonah. Book of Jonah. First chapter of Jonah. And I'm going to read quite a few verses. But when you get time, you have to go read the book of Jonah for yourself. It's a short book. It's only 4 chapters. But it reads, well, I'll wait. I'll skip it a few pages. Jonah, first chapter. We'll begin reading at the first verse. When you have it, say amen. It says, now the word of the Lord came unto Jonah, the son of Amittai, saying, arise, go to Nineveh, that great city, and cry against it, for the wickedness has come up before me. But Jonah rose up to flee unto Tarshish from the presence of the Lord, and went down to Joppa, and he found a ship going to Tarshish. So he paid the fare thereof, and went down into it, to go with them unto Tarshish from the presence of the Lord. But the Lord sent out a great wind into the sea, and there was a mighty tempest in the sea, so that the ship was like to be broken. Then the mariners were afraid and cried every man unto his God, and cast forth the wares that were in the ship into the sea to lighten it up. But Jonah was gone down into the sides of the ship, and he lay and was fast asleep. So the shipmaster came to him and said unto him, what meanest thou? O sleeper, arise, call upon thy God, if so be that God will think upon us that we perish not. And they said every one to his fellow, come and let us cast lots, that we may know for whose cause this evil is upon us. So they cast lots, and the lot fell upon Jonah. Then said they unto him, tell us, we pray thee, for whose cause this evil is upon us? What is thine occupation, and whence comest thou? What is thy country of, and what people art thou? And he said unto them, I am a Hebrew. I fear the Lord, the God of heaven, which hath made the sea and the dry land. Then were the men exceedingly afraid, and said unto him, why hast thou done this? For the men knew that he fled from the presence of the Lord, because he had told them. Then said they unto him, what shall we do unto thee, that the sea may be calm unto us? For the sea wrought and was tempest. And he said unto them, take me up, and cast me forth into the sea, so shall the sea be calm unto you. For I know that for my sake this great tempest is upon you. May God add a blessing to the readers, hearers, and doers of his word. You may be seated. Amen. Now, I'm one that like to ask questions sometimes when I get opportunity to deliver the word. So, first question I ask you, and I'm going to tell you my answer to this question is yes. But how many of you can admit that you've been disobedient? Amen. So I think all of us in here can attest to that. How many of you would say that sometimes you allow people to be attached to you that shouldn't have? I think all of us can attest to that too. Now, as this chapter begins to open up, we find that it quickly introduces us to a man named Jonah. Jonah's name means dove. Jonah, who is this Jonah? And what's so significant about this man? Jonah is referred to as a minor prophet. Not that he was not significant in the eyes of God, but just because the book of Jonah is only 4 chapters.
All right.
You know, Jonah, you can read back in the book of 2 Kings where he prophesied to Jeroboam and helped him out. Jonah is also the only prophet that Jesus refers to by name in the book of Matthew, chapter 12, verses 39 through 41. So, who is this Jonah? And why is he important to us today? So after the questions that I asked you, how many of you can say you've been disobedient? Everyone agreed. And everyone agreed that we've allowed people to be attached to us that we shouldn't. Now, oftentimes when this story of Jonah is told, we always, well, the way I heard it, I can't speak for everyone, but we always told about the disobedience of Jonah and how God gave him a command, but he didn't want to do it. But I'd like to approach it from a little different aspect this morning, if I can. And so the way I want to present it to you, so my topic this morning, if you bear with me, will be careful who you let on your ship. Be careful who you let on your ship. Now, as I was saying earlier, the passage opens up immediately with God giving Jonah a word. He told him to arise and go to Newman, that great city. But Jonah decided, I'm going to take matters into my own hands. I don't want to do what it is that you have commanded me to do. How many Christians can attest to God giving you something? Well, we'll come back to that. But the Bible goes on to tell us that he fled to Tarshish. He fled from the presence of the Lord. Now, we can see just from the first few verses his disobedience. And how he blatantly disobeyed the Lord. Now, Jonah began to set a chain of events into motion that would not have happened if he would have just been obedient. So to start things off, let's look at what Jonah began to do first. He got a command. He rose up. He went and bought a ticket. He got up. He disobeyed. He went and bought a ticket. So now this lets me know that after he bought his ticket, he bought a ticket to board a ship. This ship was heading to Tarshish. So what this began to let me know is, when I say be careful who you let on board your ship, because see now, because Jonah had a little money, because he was able to buy the ticket, he was able to get on board. So what am I trying to say right here is sometimes we allow people to become attached to us based off their monetary status. Sometimes we allow people to be attached to us because of what we feel they can do for us. Sometimes we get involved with people because they got a certain name for themselves. Sometimes we get attached to people because we feel that they're prominent in the community. Sometimes we allow people to attach themselves to us that we have no business letting them on board our ship. But see, sometimes we allow people to come in our lives that God is trying to... Sometimes We allow people to get on board. Now, when I say be careful who you let on board your ship, what I'm saying is be careful who you let in your life. Be careful of people that you entertain. Be careful with the people that you associate with. Be careful with the people that you keep company with. See, in this case now, Jonah had some money, so now he's boarded the ship. So how many people, like I asked, have allowed people to board their lives based on what they can do? See, some of us have entered into some relationship because of what he can do or what we feel she can do. Some of us think they got money, so they buying our affection, they buying our attention, they buying our wedding. But see, sometimes you need to start doing a background check on folks to realize what it is that they bring it on board your ship. See, sometimes people board your ship with some baggage that you can't equip to handle. It's a little bit too heavy. It's a little bit too heavy for you. God didn't equip you to take on their problems and their mess because you got your own to worry about. But sometimes we get attached to people because we feel like they're going to help us up and help us out and bring us through, but they put more on us than what we had in the beginning. But see, I'm reminded in the Word of God that He said, I won't put no more on you than you can bear. See, for my yoke is easy and my burdens are light. So you need to start checking the luggage at the door. If they bring in more than what's necessary, you need to throw it on the floor. See, be careful. Be careful. Be careful who you allow to get on board your ship. Be careful. So now, because he had a little money, he got on board. Because he paid the fare, he got on board. But now, Jonah has boarded the ship, and this upset the Lord. Because in the verse, let me find it. It says, but the Lord in verse 4 sent out a great wind into the sea. So I got to look at this and I was like, okay, well, Lord, what do you mean? Okay, Jonah arose. He was disobedient. He bought the ticket. He boarded the ship. But as soon as he boarded the ship, it says God sent out a great wind. Now, see, what this let me know right here is sometimes your disobedience causes God to send some wind and some storms into your life. See, everything that you come up against, you might need to check and see what it is that you're doing. You might need to look at it and see, am I in accordance with God's word? Am I following his instructions? Am I following his command? But it says God sent out a great wind upon that ship because of his disobedience. So sometimes those people that you will let be attached to you, they bring some storms into your life that God didn't want you to deal with. But because you allowed them to board your ship, they have brought havoc in your life. Okay. So Jonah has boarded the ship. It says a great wind went and but the Lord sent out a great wind into the sea, and there was a mighty tempest in the sea, so that the ship was like to be broken. So I got to thinking about this for a minute. So he arose up, he bought the ticket, he boarded the ship. God sent a storm, but when the storm came, it didn't cause him to be broken, it caused the ship to be broken. So see, when you let folks be attached to you, that God telling you not to, they bring some brokenness into your life sometimes. They come in and cause all kind of havoc and reap all kind of destruction because you have allowed them aboard your ship without checking the bags at the door. It's okay to tell people, no, I don't want to have nothing to do with you. No, I don't want to fool with you. See, the problem that people we get trapped into sometimes is people say, well, you a Christian. You're supposed to be able to help me. You a Christian. You're supposed to be there for me. But see, God gave us common sense. He didn't make us stupid. He told us we got to love everybody, but he didn't say I got to fool with everybody. So sometimes the people that's trying to attach themselves to nobody, you need to check them at the door and say, hold on, my brother. Hold on, my sister. What's your intentions in my life? What are you trying to do for me? If you're not uplifting me and taking me higher in the Lord, then I don't need to the ship start being tossed, when it start being thrown to the side. Any of you ever been out to sea? Any of you ever been on a ship? And you know when them seas get a little bit turbulent, and them swells get to coming in, and they get to knocking that boat around, and you can't even walk straight. You got to try to go with the flow of the ship, because it's just a little bit too hard for you to stay in line with the course of that ship, because you're being broken on, you're being moved all around from side to side. Sometimes it makes you a little sick, you get to move too much. Sometimes you have to go lay down because you can't stand the storm that you're going through. Sometimes you got to take a pill or put a patch behind your ear so that you can balance your equilibrium. God is trying to bring balance in your life by telling you, don't let everybody board your ship. Because see, the problem when he boarded the ship, now see, these men, yes sir, they made a living by trading. They were mariners. See, they made their living by what they had on their boat. Because they allowed Jonah to be attached to their ship, it says they begin to throw the wares overboard. What are wares? They're valuable. They're expensive things. There's pottery. It's things that they use to trade and make a living. But see, sometimes you bring folks into your life that God don't want attached to you. And you start throwing some things out that God wanted you to keep. You start letting go of some things that God needed you to hold on to. So now, everything that they was going to use to make some money, they didn't throw it overboard. They got to throw away what it is to make their living. All because they didn't check the bags at the gangway. They didn't check it before they got on board. They just let it get on because they didn't know. But see, sometimes, now, I want to say this. Jonah was a man of God. He was a man of God. I told you in 2 Kings how he prophesied. Told you that Jesus mentioned him in the book of Matthew, the only prophet. He was a child of God. So what am I trying to say? Everybody that say they're a child, everybody that's confessing and professing, some of us is walking in disobedience. Some of us ain't living the life that we confess to be living. Some of us have a form of godliness, but a form of godliness ain't godliness at all. It's just what you trying to appear before men to be. But God knows the heart. He knows the true intentions. He knows your mind. He knows how you live when can't nobody else see. He knows when you close that door and you turn that key. He knows what you're doing when can't nobody else see. He knows and says everything that's done in the dark, it shall be brought to the light. So what you're doing behind your closed door is between you and God. But be careful who you let on your ship, because some of them folks is doing some things that ain't got no business doing. So now, but he's a man of God. But he's being disobedient. Everybody in here admitted at first that we've all been disobedient in our life. But see, sometimes our disobedience will bring heartache and pain to others in our life. If you don't believe me, let me take your attention to Achan and AI. How God had told him to leave all the spoils, take nothing. He told him don't take anything. But he decided he saw a little gold and a little silver that attracted him and that he wanted for himself. So he then took it with him and buried it in his tent. But now that he didn't bury it and think can't nobody see there's some things behind closed doors. Or as we refer to it, them skeletons in the closet. But see, sometimes them skeletons begin to fall out. Because when they went in the battle the next time, God wasn't with them. God wasn't on their side. See, God, because of the disobedience, he told the prophet that I'm not going to be with you because you have sinned against me. But see, now, because of his disobedience, because he was attached to that ship, God told him to find him and he perished and his family. See, so you living in disobedience sometimes just don't affect you. It affects all those that are connected to you. So you need to be mindful and aware and cautious of what you do, because you may be bringing damnation on your whole family. Walk in obedience. Yeah, sometimes it's challenging, but the rewards will pay off. The Bible says for the wages of sin is death, but the gift of God is eternal life. Be careful with your ship. So now again, I said they had to throw overboard all the things that they were using to make a living, or how they was going to earn their keep, so to speak. But the shipmaster says he went to Jonah and basically said, what you doing? Why you sleeping? Don't you see what's happening? How are you able to sleep in the midst of this storm that is taking place around us? Because see, a lot of times, you ever deal with the people that throw rocks, but then they hide their hand? See, that was Jonah. See, he didn't throw the rock, but he didn't hit his hand. So now he's asking him, what are you doing? Why are you sleep? And so what this said to me is, we need to be like that shipmaster and start asking people, what are you doing in my life? What purpose do you serve? How can I help you? What are you going to do to benefit us? How are we going to improve the kingdom? How are we going to get closer to God? What are we going to learn? What are we going to do that makes God smile? We have to question people that come to try to board our ship. But see, now they didn't woke Jonah up. And Jonah knew what was wrong. But see, at first, but he didn't say nothing. He just got up like, I'm sure he just woke up and was like, what you talking about? I ain't doing nothing. I just bought me a ticket. I'm trying to go to Tarshish. I just want to take my ride. Why you bother me to disturb my sleep? See, it couldn't have been me. I think I'd have slapped him and woke him up and told him, listen, you need to get up. And they said, pray to the God that you serve to see what is this that has been brought upon us. But see now, what I found interesting about this chapter is as you read down a little bit more, it says, but even after throwing things overboard, even after Jonah telling them what he has done, it says they were still rowing hard trying to get to the shore. So what that tells me is, even sometimes when people let you know their true intentions, when people tell you the reason why they came into your life, you still trying to hold on to them. You still trying to keep them on board your ship. No matter the damage that you suffer, no matter the heartache and pain you go through, no matter how hard it gets for you, but you still trying to deal with these type of people. Have you ever dealt with people that when they walk into the room, the atmosphere just changes? They just seem like they suck the life out of the room. And everybody has done this. Oh Lord, here goes sister so-and-so. Here goes brother, whoever his name may be. You don't want to deal with them because you already know the mess that they're about to bring. Have you ever dealt with that person that every chance they see you, they want to gossip and whisper in your ear? They want to tell you about who said, who shot John, who killed Sally, who did this. But what amazes me is you can sit and talk to me about everybody. You'll talk about me too. So the thing that I realize is that you got to be careful who's on board your ship. Because everybody that's in your ear, sometimes you need to just block them out. I don't want to hear that. But see what I've learned in life, if we learn to do this, if we start telling people when they bring that mess to us, grab their hand and say, let's pray for them. Let's lift them up. Let's go to God on their behalf. Let's see what God says. Let's see what God can do. See, that'll keep people from being in your ear. Because they'll realize and they'll know that you're not that person. Be careful who you let on your ship. Everybody that's riding don't mean you well. You know, me and my wife took our first cruise a few months back. And some of y'all take cruises all the time. But you realize how many people board that ship? It's people from everywhere. People from all over the world. I mean, we met people from Russia, from England, from just all walks of life. Not just from the passengers, but even the crew that works there. But the thing about it is, we don't know their story when they board their ship. We don't know their intentions on board their ship. Now, we hope and pray that their intentions are good. But see, we have to be mindful. The Bible says, let this mind be in you, which is also in Christ Jesus. See, God gives us discernment when we walk in His will and in His grace. See, God gives you a discernment on some people that you just need not fool with. Because see, here's the problem. Sometimes we attach ourselves to people. And now watch this. Come here right quick. Now, watch this. Stand up here. Now, sometimes we get attached to people. Now, try to pull me up. You can't. But I can pull you down. See, sometimes we attach ourselves to folks that it's easier for me to pull you down than it is for you to pull me up. So that's why you got to watch some of the company that you keep. Because everybody, like I said, don't mean you well. And some of the people that's that you are? Why was it easy for me to pull you down? See, our life should be such a witness that the anointing that flows on you should begin to overflow to everybody that comes in your presence. The Bible says that you will know the tree by the fruit that it bears. You will know the life by the way that they live. I ain't got to tell you who I am in God. My life will speak for me. I ain't got to boast and brag what he done for me. The favor of God is not there, but it's right. The favor of God will let you know you should be contagious in your walk. You should be infectious in your walk. Everybody that comes around you should catch Jesus. They should hold on. They should catch him and not want to let go. Be careful who you let on board your ship. Because people are trying to pull you down. They are trying to drag your name through the mud. They are trying to hinder you and block your blessings. You know, me and my wife talk about this oftentimes. How you ever just had moments where you pray and you ask God to bless you, and the blessings begin to fall, but then you become disobedient and step out of his will. But now watch this. It didn't stop the floodgates that open. They still falling. But you just not in line to receive it. God honored your request, but you stepped out of the line with him. So everything you were supposed to get, everything you were supposed to hold on to, everything that was supposed to propel you into your future and into your destiny, you let fall by the wayside. But now watch this. But then when you get back right, and you get rid of that form of godliness, and you get godly, and you step back into his grace and into his mercy, now you get what's left over. You hear what I said? You get what's left over. But you didn't receive everything that you should have. But see, because God, who is rich in mercy, because God, who is rich in his love and kindness, he says, I will restore unto you the years that the cankerworm and the palmerworm has eaten away. Even in spite of you falling out of line with him, he says, I'm faithful and just to forgive you of your sins and cleanse you of all unrighteousness. He said, if you acknowledge me, I will direct your path. He says that you can do all things through him that strengthen you. He says, for I so love the world that I gave my only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Because God saw who was boarding your ship. I can see Jesus sitting at the right hand of his Father and says they're taking on too much. They're taking on too much heaviness. The baggage is getting too hard for them to hold on to. And I can just imagine him saying, Lord, prepare me a way. Prepare me a body so that I can go down and take this capsizing ship and bring it back afloat. So that I can remove everything that I need to be in their life. So the Bible tells me that Jesus, he came down through 42 generations because he saw who you was letting on board your ship. And he came down because he thought enough of you to help you keep certain individuals, certain people off your ship. But I'm going to say this to you. It's not always people that we take on board our ship. Some of us got some addictions that we're holding on to. Some of us got some entertainment that we watch that's not pleasing to God. Some of us got a bottle that we hold on to. Some of us got some things we smoke on. And I ain't talking about cigarettes. Some of us got a pipe that is our best friend. Some of us got some addictions that God is trying to get up off your ship because it's heavy on you. It's heavy on you. Some of us are... The Bible says that God, he loves us unconditionally. He loves us even when we don't love ourselves. And to prove it, like I said, he went to the cross because he loves you unconditionally. So if he was willing to die for you, the least you can do is live for you. The last time I checked, I'm about to take my seat. Everybody in here likes gifts. Who doesn't get excited about a gift? But Jesus gave you the gift of life. What Adam destroyed, Jesus renewed. What Adam separated, Jesus reconciled. What Adam couldn't do, Jesus did it all. And the good thing about it is, salvation is free. Because he paid the price. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm pretty cheap, so I like free stuff. I like free. But especially, but watch this. But the gift that he's giving you that's free is going to benefit you for eternity. You know, there used to be this saying that you only live once. But that's so far from the truth. You only die once. But you live on in eternity. You live on. This house of clay, this is temporary. Because one day, the Bible says every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess. And I'm going to leave you with this. And when you stand before him in judgment, what if he asked you, why did you let that on your ship? Amen. If you are tired of taking on baggage, if you are tired of living the way that you've been living, if the load has gotten too heavy for you, let Jesus lighten the load. Let him take it on. So if there's one today, and you have some things on your ship that you need God to remove, he says, come boldly before the throne of grace. There's nothing too hard for God, but he can't do it if you don't give it to him. Lighten your load on today. Let Jesus bear your burdens.
Great is thy faithfulness, O God, my Father. There is no shadow of turning with thee. Thou changest not thy compassion.
it don't hit you first to check the message. But most gracious Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you today for the visitation of your Spirit, Lord. We thank you for the word that has come through. Lord, you know in your word that you said your word will not return unto you void. So Lord, we thank you right now. And Lord, we ask that as we leave this place, whenever your presence, that you will continue to lead and guide us. Keep us safe from all hurt, harm, and danger. Lord, bless these graduates that are about to go into the next phase of their life, Lord. Go before them now, prepare the way, Lord. You said you can protect us from danger seen and unseen. So, Lord, we ask that you would just move on their behalf and continue to let your favor shower down upon them. And not only them, but all that is assembled and attached to this church, Lord. Bless our pastor and his wife in their absence, Lord. Continue to strengthen, continue to let him be a great under shepherd that you have placed before us, Lord. Thank you for the teachings that he has given us, Lord. We thank you right now, and we'll be mindful to always give you the glory, honor, and praise. In your Son, Jesus' name we pray. Amen.